Great peace, Yakoki. So I want to talk about the word Akata. I want to put out some fire real quick because argument ensued this morning about the word being negative and the word being accusatory. Um, Africans were having a discussion, and the FBA, he interjected and basically said, "We know why y'all call us Akatas." And so let me say this, the word Akata is not a negative word. Any word that you see in alpha non-stems, they're not negative. Any of the words. Any of the words. You see that Mandinka have the same vowels as English. Mainly Mandinkas, right? They're in Gambia. Mandinka, they're from Florida. They're from Mississippi. But they're mainly in Gambia, right? So it's like the first state that kind of welcomed American citizens outside of like Liberia, Nigeria. It's an American state, Gambia, right? Those are American descendants. This word Akata, so let's try to break it down and see what it actually means, right? And we're going to look at Mandinka words because, the only people who live like, you know, as tribes, like successfully, right? In America, and I just happen to be near that state, right? It's Michigan. The Amish. The Amish are like the only people in America who live successfully off the land. And they do so in sort of like a uh let me see, how can I say this? They do so almost like in a religious sense. They're very religious prone. They're very religious prone. So let's look at what this word akata means, right? Because you got to remember, its noun stem is, you know, like how can I say this? Its noun stem is cat, so and it's also it's other noun stem is alpha, so you have alpha and cat, like alpha and omega. That's basically how you know it's not a negative word. It means like us. That's basically what it means. It means like us. So when you see Nigerians, they come over here and they start saying Akata, they're basically saying, why are they acting like this? They're like us. Because Nigerians, right, they're very um, wild in a sense. And I mean that in a good way, right? Because I'm wild. You know what I mean? Like a person who's wild is someone who is like free in the range. They're free in the range, which means they grow wild. So it means they're organic. So like if a Nigerian calls you an Akata, in a sense they find you in their language. Like how can you be mad if they find you in their language? Look at this word right here. This is what I want to talk about. Katuma, elder sibling. So if they're calling you a kata, they're calling you an elder sibling. Because again, you got to remember, there's two A's, which means what? Is of African origin. There's two O's, which what? That means it's of, what does it mean? It means it's of Oriental origin. There's a T and there's a K. What does that mean? That means it's of Eastern European descent. You see what I mean? So that's pretty much all I want to say. The word Akata, like it's nothing wrong with the word, I would wish that, a Nigerian calls me Akata, I would wish so because I would know I would have a home, I would have a place in Nigeria. I would have a place. So Abe Hayani, great peace, Yakoki.